In the far reaches of the galaxy, where stars were not just distant pinpricks of light but galaxies unto themselves, humanity had expanded its reach across planets and systems. Earth had long since become just one part of a much larger galactic community, and in this interconnected, multi-species universe, humans had learned to adapt to alien cultures and technologies. Yet for all their technological advancements, one thing had remained uniquely human: the capacity for art. Mira Hughes was an artist, but not in the traditional sense. She didn't paint with brushes or sculpt with clay. She was a creator of holograms, of three-dimensional images and illusions that captured the emotions, the essence, of her subjects. Born on Earth, but having traveled far and wide in her career, Mira had refined her craft over the years, perfecting the art of conveying deep emotion and meaning through light and sound. Her works weren't just visual, they were immersive experiences, pushing the boundaries of what could be felt and seen in a medium that most only regarded as temporary and digital. Her greatest achievement, however, was the creation of a series of holograms designed to interact with the emotions of the viewer. Mira had discovered a unique property of holographic technology that allowed her to embed emotional frequencies into her creations. These frequencies, patterns of light, sound, and energy, could resonate with the viewer's emotional state, amplifying their feelings, helping them experience profound connections with the artwork. She knew that art had the power to heal, to inspire, and to bring people closer together, but she had never imagined that her work could lead her to something far greater than she had ever hoped. Her breakthrough came when the Zythar, a peaceful and technologically advanced alien species, invited her to their homeworld to showcase her work. The Zythar were a species unlike any human had encountered before, tall and graceful, with opalescent skin that shimmered like liquid silver. Their communication was not spoken but deeply rooted in a complex form of telepathy, with emotions and thoughts shared through energy fields. To the Zythar, words were unnecessary, their feelings and ideas conveyed through waves of color and light. The notion of connecting emotionally through a shared sensory experience was second nature to them, yet they had never encountered art in the way humans created it. The idea of creating holograms that could amplify emotions was something that fascinated them. Mira arrived on Zythar's world with a sense of wonder and nervous excitement. She had been invited by the Zythar High Council, who believed that her work might offer a new form of artistic expression that could bridge gaps between their species and help deepen their understanding of emotions. The Zythar, while rich in intellect and technology, lacked the diversity of emotional expression that humans took for granted. Their society was calm, composed, and logical emotions were something that were often suppressed in their highly controlled culture. The idea of emotions being conveyed through art intrigued them, but they were unsure if it could truly resonate with them. Mira's first public exhibition on Zythar was unlike any she had ever experienced before. The Zythar, in their otherworldly grace, moved about the exhibit, their emotions softly resonating in the air like a symphony of light. Mira had created holograms based on human experiences: love, loss, joy, longing, all of the complex feelings that humans experienced in their tumultuous, messy lives. She had created a space where the Zythar could walk among her art, experiencing the emotions encoded within the holograms in a way that was far more intimate than any traditional art form. But as the Zythar moved through the holographic pieces, there was a subtle shift that Mira could not ignore. The images, the frequencies, were resonating with something else, something unexpected. Mira had been so focused on her work and its impact on the Zythar that she had never anticipated the emotional impact it would have on her. For the first time in her life, she found herself experiencing a deep emotional resonance with one of the Zythar, a philosopher named Orlean. Orlean was a member of the Zythar High Council, tasked with observing human art for the first time. His role was to analyze and understand how this alien concept of emotion expressed through light could affect their people. He had always been skeptical of human art, believing it to be nothing more than an extraneous luxury. However, from the moment he stepped into the exhibit, something changed. The holograms Mira had created stirred something within him, something that had long remained dormant in the Zythar consciousness. The first time Orlean and Mira locked eyes across the exhibit, it felt as though the entire space between them collapsed. Orlean was not a young Zythar, and his long life had been spent observing the universe with logical detachment, never allowing himself to become emotionally entangled in the lives of others. Yet the hologram before him, a simple portrayal of two figures reaching toward each other in a silent embrace, struck him deeply. He felt a warmth in his chest, a longing that he could not explain. The Zythar, though capable of emotional empathy, had never experienced anything like this, not through the lens of an external stimulus, not like this. Mira saw his reaction, and her heart skipped a beat. She had seen her work move people before, but never like this. Orlean's face, typically unreadable, now softened with a wistfulness she had never seen in the Zythar before. She approached him carefully, her curiosity piqued. "Orlean," she said softly, "are you all right?" He turned to her, his silvery skin shimmering under the holographic lights. His eyes, though alien, seemed to shimmer with an emotion he could not suppress. He felt exposed, as if his very being were laid bare for Mira to see. He took a deep breath, his voice resonating with the warmth of unspoken thoughts. "This piece," he said, his tone hesitant, "it speaks to me in ways I cannot explain. I have never felt such longing." Mira smiled gently, not entirely surprised, but deeply touched. "It's a form of connection," she replied. "Art has a way of opening us up, allowing us to feel things we might not normally acknowledge. I didn't expect this to be something that would speak to you." Orlean's gaze softened as he stepped closer, his presence emanating a quiet intensity. "I am not accustomed to such emotions," he admitted. "In our culture, we value reason over feeling. Yet, in this moment, I feel." His words trailed off, but Mira could sense the depth of his inner turmoil. This was not something Orlean had been prepared for, this unexpected rush of emotion, the vulnerability that had come with the holograms. What started as a scientific exploration of human art had quickly turned into something much more personal, something that transcended the boundaries of species and understanding. The days that followed were filled with intense conversations between Mira and Orlean, each one an exploration of the boundaries between their species. Orlean, whose philosophical mind had been grounded in logic, began to question everything he had known about emotion. He found himself drawn to Mira, not just because of her artistic genius, but because of the connection they were forging through their shared experiences. As their conversations deepened, Mira found herself inexplicably drawn to Orlean as well. Despite their cultural differences, there was an undeniable bond between them, one that neither could explain but both could feel. It was as though the emotions encoded into Mira's holograms had opened something deep inside them both. It was in one of their quiet moments, amidst the ever-shifting lights of Mira's latest hologram, that Orlean reached out to her. He had never allowed himself to embrace emotion in such a raw way, but standing in the quiet of the gallery, surrounded by the quiet hum of her creations, he felt compelled to reach across the gap that separated them. He took her hand, his fingers cool against her skin. Mira, for her part, did not pull away. Instead, she allowed the moment to unfold, her own feelings growing more complex and powerful with each passing second. "Mira," Orlean whispered, his voice soft yet full of emotion, "what is this feeling? Why do I feel as if you are the one person I have been searching for?" Mira felt the same surge of emotion well up inside her, something she had been trying to understand for days. "I don't know," she said quietly, "but I feel it too." In that moment, the bond between them deepened. It was no longer just a shared intellectual connection or a mutual appreciation for art. It had become something more, something that transcended the boundaries of language, logic, and species. It was love, a love born from the very essence of their beings, their emotions, and their shared vulnerability. As Mira and Orlean's relationship blossomed, their bond became a symbol for both their species. It was a relationship that challenged the norms of the Zythar and of humanity, a reminder that the power of connection, of love, could transcend the boundaries of the universe. It wasn't just their emotions that resonated, it was their shared humanity, their shared capacity to feel and to connect, that sparked a romance between two species who had never before understood one another in such an intimate way. Through their love, Mira and Orlean proved that art was more than just an expression, it was a bridge, a conduit for the most profound of human and alien experiences. It was a testament to the power of connection and the capacity of art to bring two souls together, no matter how vast the distance between them might seem. Their love would forever be remembered as the moment when two species, seemingly as different as could be, found harmony through the most human of emotions, love. Their holograms would continue to resonate with both species, a lasting legacy of the way art could touch hearts, transcend species, and build a bridge between even the most unlikely of lovers.